Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to Yangon, Myanmar. We're here at the Shwedagon Pagoda. Look at this place. It's absolutely breathtaking. It's hard to really put it into words. Every time I come here, I feel absolutely speechless. But a lot going on this morning. We have there's some novitiations going on, which is where they have like an introductory ceremony for the new monks, which are usually started around the 7 or 8 year mark, and just a lot of families out today. But this is my second time here, and every time it seems like there's some sort of beautiful ceremony going on. But as you can see up there on the temple, they're working to get this ready because they have a big celebration happening at the end of the year. So anyway, it's just a beautiful place to be, and so many amazing people. The people here in Myanmar are some of the nicest people I've ever met in my life, and I'm definitely the odd man out here, which is fun. You know, it's such an interesting city because here in Yangon, there is a half an hour time difference from Thailand. And another thing worth mentioning is they have their steering wheels on the right-hand side of the car, but they drive on the right-hand side of the street. But yeah, just a remarkable place on earth. And if you ever get a chance to visit Yangon, you've got to come to the Shwedagon Pagoda. You see a lot of people here absolutely dedicated to what they believe. And oh my God. And you know, I find all of this so interesting, and I am definitely not one to point to any one religion and say this is it, right? But I love finding those religions that are super different and that allow me to stretch my mind. I mean, look at this place. This is just absolutely insane. What I love about traveling is just how it really opens your mind to everything that is really happening in this world at this very moment. And coming to places like this is just something that really allows me to stretch my imagination and to think outside of the box that we're all placed in. There's another word in Sanskrit called Maya, which means illusion. And it's interesting when you look at the etymology of those words. M-A, you see that a lot in matter. You see mater for mother in Latin. The Mayans, matrix. M symbolizing water, the waves. But Maya, the word illusion, is what the Hindu would refer to as reality, as we know it. Meaning everything that's happening in our brain through our 12 cranial nerves that is communicating to the back of our brain everything that we sense, everything that we hear, everything that we touch, that we see. That is Maya. And a lot of people, when they first discover this word, Maya, they tend to associate it with the Matrix, like this whole thing is a video game, or it's just an illusion, and it's not reality, and it doesn't matter. But you see, I think Maya is much more than that. I think Maya is pointing to the fact that It is an illusion in the sense that it's illusory. However, our perceptions are so limited that this reality as we perceive it is, although it does make up a piece of our reality, it is not the base reality. And that's where they get the word Zen. You know, a lot of times when you see Zen, you see a circle. It's like a painted circle. And what they're getting at there is that what it is that you cannot see, that is closer to the ultimate reality. If you were to lay out the electromagnetic curve as far as we can actually measure it, and say that that is a yard in length, what we can perceive as humans would be 1/32nd of an inch of that. And so it goes to show you really how much is going on. I mean, if you were to ask an astrologist, they would say that 99% of the universe is what we call dark matter, which is just another word for we don't know what it is. That's the information, that's what makes up everything, is the space between. Think of it like this. When you're thinking of Zen and you're wanting to understand a Zen mindset, is the space between things is what makes things a reality. They're ringing a lot of bells here this morning, and it's beautiful because you can hear the bells chime from clear across from the other side of the temple. And although I can't see them, I can hear the resonance of the sound. And when that sound is created, there's a resonance with that sound, and it carries and carries and carries. And if you really listen to a chime of a bell and try to trace its sound to its ultimate ending, you can ask yourself, well, at what moment does it end? At what moment is it completely gone? Or is it ever gone? Makes you think twice about the things that you say, because each word that we say resonates forever. What a beautiful morning. So when you think of the Matrix, think more of Zen. Think of the code and what's happening in the space all around us that we cannot perceive. I mean, ask the question, what would be of your life if you were to have been born here in this part of the world? And the things that you expect of other people, do you expect of yourself? In other words, if you expect someone to believe exactly how you believe and sincerely research it and pray about it and ask God if it's true, you need to ask yourself, have I done that? Am I willing to look into what the rest of the world believes sincerely, with an open heart, genuinely? A lot of times I know it's easy for us to say, well, you know, there's other parts of the world, they're a little strange, and they probably have little semblance, a little semblance of truth. But we're the real truth. But until we are willing to study them, ponder them, and really sincerely pray about them and meditate on them, how could we ever know? Look at this, isn't that beautiful? And it's amazing to me that this entire community just really all works together to keep this place completely just spotless. And I mean, look at all those people working up there. It's really cool to see. And everything comes from donations of the city, which, by the way, here in Myanmar, the average income is about $1,000 a year, to give you an example. And so many of them spend a lot of their time doing exactly what you see them doing today. It's definitely a different change of pace, and it's really changed my life. I wanted to just talk a little bit today. I didn't really have much planned to talk about, but I made a film here a couple years ago in this part of the world. Here was one of the shooting locations, and at the time I was very religious and I did not have very much of an open mind. I mean, I thought it was absolutely mind-blowing and very interesting, but it was this place in particular, I could say, this country, that got me thinking much bigger. And it made me realize how much of the world I don't understand. And I remember getting home from my trip to Myanmar and telling myself, you know what, it's time to read more books. It's time to really try to understand the rest of the world and really look at the world for how it is. When you talk about loving others and loving everyone, well, you've really got to strip that away and think about what it would take to really, really love others. And I think the first thing that would come with that would be absolute acceptance of others for who they are, for the patterns that they were brought up in, exactly like the patterns that you were brought up in, and start to try to understand them. Look into what they would have been brought up with, the belief systems that they would have been born into. And when we do that, when we really, really try to understand others, that is a place where you can begin to stop judging others. But it starts here. It starts with you. There's nothing wrong with anyone else. Wow. But just the mere fact that this place exists goes to show that we live in a beautiful world. So with that said, you guys, thanks again for watching. Subscribe for more videos like these in the future, where we talk about religion, philosophy, and everything in between from all over the world. And most importantly, you guys, stay curious. We'll see you next time.